Alright guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Alright, check it out. Behind me I got a 1999 Porsche Boxster, and today we're going to show you how to replace the brake booster. Now you want to pay very close attention to this video because I need to tell you the things that would cause a brake booster to go, because if you change it and you don't check these, and if it goes, you're going to be doing this job all over again. Alright? Coming up on Astral Auto Repairs. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero-tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com. Alright guys, the first thing you want to do is clear everything out in the trunk, because what we need to do is take off this wing nut right here to take off our spare tire. To get that out of the way. And it's going to come off just like that. So let's get this out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do, you got this weather stripping right here. Just pull up on the weather stripping. Get that over to the side just like that. And now we're going to take off this cover right here. To take off this cover, you got one little clip right here. And that should be a screwdriver. And you just got to turn that clip counterclockwise or clockwise. Either way, till it releases, and looks like this one's already released, and that's good. Right about there. And now to finish this off, we got 3 Phillips screws. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm gonna grab my cordless gun here with my number 2 Phillips hex bit on it, and we can go ahead and take off these screws. All 3 screws are the same length, so you don't have to worry about it. And once we take these screws off, we're gonna let me just take these 3 off real quick, and then pull this cover up. You gotta watch around here because right here it is tucked into there. Get that out of the way. And what we want to do here is put our screws back into place so we don't lose them. And you can see this thing's like these little clips, like adjustable. You can put screws anywhere, so it doesn't matter which one you put them into. We're going to take them out anyway and line them up. Alright, let's get that done and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we'll do, we got this cover up here we want to get out the way, and there should be another screw over here, but it's not. You got 2 T20 Torx bits. So I got my T20 1/4" drive, and it looks like this is already loose. Take this up. Take our cover off. And what we can do is put our screw back in there and set this to the side, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, before we continue, I want to just show you what we got over here. Get a nice blanket, put on the fender, and that way you protect the fender from any kind of scratches or anything. The next thing we're going to do, to make this a little easier for me, I'm going to disconnect the negative terminal. I'm going to take a 10mm deep 1/4" drive socket, and that's all I'm going to do is loosen up the nut. I'm not going to take it off all the way. Twist it back and forth. Get that disconnected, get that out of the way. The reason why is because we're going to take off our horn now. And if you look, our horn has this long bracket on it, and then right below, down here, there is a 10mm bolt. So I am going to now get my 10mm shallow socket onto my 1/4" drive ratchet. And another good thing you could do is a wrench. Be even better. As a matter of fact, looks like the battery casing is right up against there, and I can't really get my ratchet in there, so I'm definitely going to have to go get a wrench. So let me go get a 10mm wrench, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got 2 wrenches here. One, I got a 10mm regular wrench, and you guys just have to go down there and get that wrench on there and slowly go ahead and loosen that up. Or what I'm going to use, in case you guys got one, is a speed wrench. Speed wrench is like a ratchet action on the end of it. So now I can put the wrench up there and go ahead and take that off. Alright, so let's get that off and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I got the bolt out. Now we can take our horn, bring it up out of the way, and if you want to make it easier for you, let's unplug it. You got the two metal tabs on each side. You got to squeeze them in and then pick your horn up. Squeeze the tabs in and unplug it. Dang it. Just like that. Alright. And we're going to put the horn to the side and we're going to take the bolt and just set it in there just so we know where it's at. Alright. Let's get this out of the way and we'll be right back. Alright guys, lesson time. If you look down here, you see all this rust, water buildup. And actually, if you can see, water came up to this level right about here. Now, two reasons, the main reason why a brake booster will go is somehow water gets into it. Either water or brake fluid. If the drain is clogged over here, this water will build up and it'll go inside the brake booster from down here, and it will cause this thing to corrode and rust up. Now I'm going to show you. Now if you go back to the first video we did on this car, it was building up water and we found out the drains were clogged. But at that time we didn't have an issue with the brake booster, so we were safe to assume everything was good. Now if you look right, let's get this down over here. Now if you can look right down on the wall, and you're going to see a little opening right over there with my wrench we're just hitting. I don't know if you can see it. Alright, that's the drain hole. Now last time we was here, the first time we was here, that was clogged up and it built up water. So it's very possible that water had built up and got inside the brake booster.
Okay.
But now it's clear. The second way, when your master cylinder goes, there's a seal in the back of the master cylinder that starts leaking. And what happens? That fluid leaks right into the brake booster. We're not going to know that until we get ready to remove this. And if the back of the master is wet, that master's got to be replaced or this problem is going to happen again. Take care of those two tips. Take those two tips to heart. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we need to get to a clip that's inside this boot. This boot is very important because this boot keeps water out from inside the car. So what you want to do is take your screwdriver and you need to get very close in. If you need a light, let me know. You got to get very close in here because it looks like one full grommet, one full boot, but it's not. It's two separate pieces. So you got to get your screwdriver right between there and go around and pull that boot back. Alright, and once you get it back enough inside the car now, right over here on this side, you're gonna have to just push that, get that, and this one's good, this one's already done. Push that in, because we're gonna have to back this piece up. So let me reach my fingers down there now and see if I can pull that back. Yep, there it is. Okay. And you can see there's the rod. I'm going back now. I gotta make sure I get all the way around there. And what I might go do is get my hose pliers so I can pull both back, or get two screwdrivers. Be right back. Alright guys, here we go. Got two flat screwdrivers. And what I'm going to do is take this one, pull it back, get my other little one, pull that back, push that back, and if you notice right there, you're going to see a little clip right in there. So I want to push it back enough where I can see that clip, because that's what we're going for right there. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is get that clip off. What you're going to need is a really thin screwdriver. And you're going to take that screwdriver and go right between here. And you're going to pry that, you're going to pry part of that clip up. And you're going to not bend, not break it, but just pry it up enough. And then at the same time, now this would be better if this clip was going toward the bottom, but no, it has to be coming up this way. All right, we got that off. Let's go to the other side and get the rest of it out of the way. And at the same time, we got to try to pick this clip up. Here it comes, it's coming up. And there we go. And be careful not to lose that clip, because that clip is very important. You're going to have to reuse it because you do not get another one. So let me show you how that clip is. And if you can see what I did, we'll just pry this section up right here and able to pick it up. Now what we're going to do here is just squeeze that back together just like that. So when we put it back down there, it'll lock right into place. All right, we got that done. Let's move on to the next step. We'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is unbolt our ABS pump. We're not going to disconnect any lines. We're going to do this without doing that. All right, you got 3 10mm nuts. You got 1. Okay. Number 2. Okay. And further back here, down here, is number 3. Okay. All right, now what I'm going to use is a 12-inch 3/8 drive extension with a 10mm deep socket with my cordless drill. So I'm going to go down here. One. I got to get that out of the way. 2. Now, and we gotta get a magnet to get that one in. Now on number 3, you do not have to take that off completely, because if you notice, it's slotted. So the whole thing can slide. So that's all we're gonna do with this one, is just loosen it up. Alright, so let's get our other 2 nuts out of here and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is unbolt our master cylinder. The first thing we're going to do is unplug this level sensor right here. And you got 2 metal clips, 1 on each side. Just squeeze the tabs in and unplug it. Put that down to the side. Out of your way. Next you got 2 22mm nuts. Here's one right here. And then the other one is right up there. Now I know that one looks very difficult to get to, but you have a little sway when you take the reservoir and you move it to the side just like that. You can get to it. So what I have here is a 22mm 1/2-inch drive socket with an adapter 1/2 inch going down to 3/8. Then I got my 12-inch 3/8 drive extension, and we're gonna go down here. Dang it. And do this one first. Okay, and then the one up here, and you see right here, so it's hard to get to, but you are going to be able to tilt it right to the side, enough right to get to it. It's not a lot. Believe me, you can still actually more if you want to. And you want to go loosen that one up. Dang it, these things are tight. All right. So let's get both of those nuts off and we'll be right back. All right guys, we got the 2 nuts out. Our master cylinder is slightly loose, but we're not done yet. The next thing we'll do, take you a big flat screwdriver and you want to carefully pry this line out of the booster. Just like that. Now follow up under here, it's going to go into a white clip. That's all you have to do is just push it down and out of the way. Just make sure it's away from that right there. Great, because we're going to be picking this whole assembly up. And you see, now it's got even more loose. And you know what we're going to do, guys? Just for that 10mm bolt over here that's holding the brake booster down, we're gonna go ahead and you know what, we're gonna remove that because it'll be a lot easier for us when we go to pick this whole thing up and you can see it's holding up already instead of me trying to slide it out of there. So let's remove that 10mm bolt. And again, we're gonna be using a 10mm deep 3/8 drive with our 12-inch 3/8 drive extension. Yeah, that's it. Be right back. All right, guys, the next thing to do, we're gonna do to give us a little more access is remove the amplifier. What the heck is that? I don't know. We got two 10mm bolts, one right here, and I'm using my 10mm deep with my cordless drill. One, and then there's one right on this side. Okay. That's going to give us more room to get that out of here. What we're going to do is let's swing this up. And you notice I'm swinging it up over here. I'm not putting it over here where the battery is. You can probably short something out. What I'm going to do is try to stick it over this side. Let's get this out of the way. And stick that over there. So now it's out of the way. Now, because that's going to be definitely give us enough room to swing that out of here. Now remember, if you go to any kind of website or anything, they're going to tell you to disconnect the brake lines, disconnect all this, and disconnect all that. Bleed the brakes. You got to hook up the VAG or diagnostic equipment to bleed the brakes, bleed the clutch, and all that. I'm showing you guys a quick way of doing this. All right, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you this is what we're going to do over here. Ready, Sivvy?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to grab our ABS pump, pick it up off the studs, keep it up in the air. Now it's loose. Now take our master cylinder and pry it away carefully, just enough to get past that point right. Look at this, guys. I don't know if you can see see that moisture right there? And if you look inside where the spring is, I don't know if you can, no, you can't see from over here. Matter of fact, let me try it up this way. Look inside there. Look right here on the bottom of that spring.
What?
Hold on, let me turn this. See that big spring?
Now we see it.
See right there? Look at that. That's brake fluid. That means this master has got to be changed. If not, it's going to mess the other one up as well. Dang it. But let's get this old one out so I can show the customer. Now what you want to do is pull the ABS pump up, and you're actually going to be just putting a little bend in these lines. It's not going to, actually not a bend, but being that they're flexible, you're going to move right to the side. Be careful of this one right here going to the clutch. Pick it up, bend the lines up, and now we're going to have room to get that. The next thing we're going to do is grab us a T45 socket, because we got to take off these two bolts right here that's actually holding in the booster. So let's get that and we'll be right back. All right, guys, here I go. I got my T45 3/8 drive and using my same 12-inch 3/8 drive extension and my 3/8 drive ratchet. Let's go in here. That's one. And you can see our booster's already loosened. All right, let's get these two bolts out and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the bolts out. These are some pretty long bolts. All right, let's put those down. And our booster is ready to come out of here. Now, before we do that, we got to go up here. Remember, our booster slide into this slot over here. So what we got to do is try to get it out from that where the clip was. And you might have to get your flat screwdriver and just put it right between there. And you saw how that back up just like that. Back that up just like that. And make sure all this out of the way. And we're going to have to move out. Ouch. Dang it. This is going to be tough. Swing it up at an angle. Hold it, let's get it, make sure it comes out of there. And bam, there you go, guys. Look at that. Didn't even open up the system, didn't have to bleed it or anything. And matter of fact, guys, check this out. Let's go over here. And I'm gonna set that right there. And if you can look inside, you can look inside as well, but let me get a drain pan. Right. You don't have to worry about it. I'm about to show them something. Alright, see this pan right here? Watch this, guys. Look at that.
Is that water?
Yeah, that's water. That's water in there. And that's exactly why this brake booster is no good. So let me go talk to the customer and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our new one and we got our old one. We spoke to the customer. The customer is not gonna replace, look at this. The customer is not gonna replace the master and yet, but that does void out the warranty for the new one, because as long as that's leaking, we got a problem. Cannot warranty that. So we're gonna change this. All right, the thing we're gonna do is take off this little pin right here. So what we gotta do is take a 19mm wrench and a 17mm wrench. All right, let's put our 17 over here, our 19 over here, and that's all I wanna do is just break it loose. That's all, because I need that as an alignment guide where how far I'm gonna put the other one down. And then we just take this one. Dang it. This thing is now gonna, alright, so being that that's gonna suck, let's get us a pair of vice grips or something and hold this shaft so we can take this off. We'll be right back. Alright, got my needle nose vice grips, something small that I can get in there. And go right there. Hold that into place. Let's take out 19 now. Whoops. 17. And now we can twist that right off. Now you can always adjust this once it's inside the car, but we want to try to get as close, we want to try to put it on here as close as we can with this one. So what I'm going to do is actually take my thumb, the nail of my thumb, and I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to actually sit here and count. Let me take it off. Take it off so you can get a nice look at this. Yeah, so I'm going to put my thumb right there. Tell me when you're ready.
When you ready.
Don't talk to me like that.
Don't tell me.
And I'm going to start counting the threads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to keep on counting to the end. We'll be right back. All right, I counted 18 threads. So let's switch this over to the side. Let's get this back all the way. And then we're going to count 18, and then we're going to stop my finger where it's at, and then I'm going to bring the nut up to my thumb. All right, start counting, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, I got 18. So what I'm going to do is bring the nut up till it touches my thumb. And there we go. I got my alignment. Now I'm going to go ahead and actually put this on until it goes down to the nut. We'll be right back. All right, I got it back there. Now I'm not going to tighten this up yet, just in case I got to make an adjustments while it's in the car. But what I am going to do is go ahead and bring that and just snug it up, just like that. All right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to take some silicone or some lithium grease, and we're going to grease the pin right here, just on this side, not right here, just so we don't have a hard time going back into that bracket. And then we'll be ready to install this. Actually, before we do that, guys, just so it don't leak no air out, we got this new seal that should be installed on to the master cylinder. So let's go over here to the master cylinder. And right there, you're going to see the O-ring. So you're just going to take a screwdriver, pop that off. And put the new one on. Because if that's leaking, air leaks out of there. Just put that on. That is perfect. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, got my lithium here, and what I'm doing, we're gonna do the 007. Now, do some of them, everybody gotta know what that means by now, right? You figure?
Yes, please. Stop with the story.
I gotta tell them the story.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
Manny Mechanic 007. Check it out, guys.
Thanks,
He-
man.
Yeah. He told me when I was doing some brakes, I used to take and put the grease on my fingers. And he said, Tim, why don't you stop doing that? Get you some Q-tips and use the Q-tips instead. So I said, Len, that's a cool idea. And that's Manny Mechanic 007. So ever since then, I started using that, and I started calling this method the 007.
Maybe we should have Len come live with us for a little while so he could teach you some other methods. I have to be a little neater at home.
Who say Len neat at home?
Well, he knew how to do that.
Alright guys, let's get over here and set this in here. Alright. Then we're going to carefully line this up, get our master and everything out of the way. Get it in there. And I'm trying to make sure at the same time get that lined up into there, into the perfect. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Tell me that ain't good. Perfect, guys. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is in the front here, they got some little green plugs to protect the threading or protect, I don't know what the heck they protecting. There ain't no threads inside of it, so I don't know why they did it. I don't know. So we're gonna start with the bottom one, the easy one. We're gonna put the bottom one in. Go up there, screw that in by a couple threads to make sure it is lined up. Okay. Then we're gonna go do the top one. Make sure that's lined up. Okay, and once they're like that, we're gonna take our T45 with our 12-inch extension, and let's get those tightened up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got that tightened up. The next thing we're gonna do, let's go back down here with our screwdrivers, and let's push our boot back. And as you can see, this thing is not all the way forward. Which could be a little problem right here. We might have to turn this adjustment. You know what? Let me tell you what. Let me loosen up this booster. I want to make sure that gets in there flat first. Dang it. You know, let's try to get our 17 millimeter and turn this. This is gonna be a long time. Yeah, we gotta sit here and turn this and bring that out. You see it going out. That's good. That's cool. Cause it gives us our alignment now. See if I can almost. I'm gonna bring that out enough so I can get our clip up there. Okay, that look good. All right, let's go get our clip and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our clip right here. And
no, okay.
what? This is gonna be difficult for me to see down there and get this lined up. And that boot should be pushed back more. Maybe I'll get a pair of needle nose and push that, get that down in there. Dang it. Alright, let me see if I can get this boot to push back more. Okay, hold this in place. There we go. Now let's get that thing so it can snap into place and keep that from coming off. I should put this the other way. Where's my light? Yeah, still gotta go down. Where's my screwdriver at? It's the big screwdriver. There it is. I'm gonna carefully push this down. Oh, not yet. Not yet. Dang it. Alright guys, let me go get me a needle nose. I'll be right back. Alright guys, let me see if I can push it down. There it is. Dang it, now to get my... Got it. Now what I'm going to do now is take my big screwdriver, because remember I had to pry that out a little bit. So I'll just get the bottom part and push that back to make sure that locks into place. Great. Alright, now let's tighten back up our booster. And then we're going to adjust that sleeve right there. We'll be right back. Alright guys, now we need to adjust this. Now the way you're going to adjust this is on the brake pedal. There should be between 5mm and 10mm before the brake pedal hits the brake light switch. So let's go over here to the brake pedal. Okay, and there you go. That's got no move, no kind of play whatsoever. So we're gonna have to go out here and loosen this up. Be right back. All right, we're gonna got our 17mm wrench, and what I'm gonna do is bring this down more towards the shaft, more towards the booster. See, now I got a little play in there. Let's keep bringing this down, and then I'm gonna keep going back and forth and checking the play. Be right back. All right, guys, we got that set up. The next thing we're gonna do is take out this protective cover right here, and let's bend our master back down into place, and at the same time get our brake booster down. As you can see, I'm down. Oh, this thing. There we go. All right, we got our bolts lined up for there. Let's see if we got our bolt lined up over for here. There we go. For a nut over here. We got our nut lined up over there. And what I'm gonna do is take my screwdriver and just bend this bracket down. And then the last one down here. Perfect. All right, we got that. Now let's get our master and bend that back into place. And that master is going down on a rod inside the booster, so you want to make sure you're going down evenly when you bring this in. Make sure it's go in there flush. Now, let me show you what I mean on the old Boxster. Inside it is a little pin right there.
Okay.
Alright, so you want to make sure that master goes right onto that, not to the side or crooked or anything. Make sure it goes straight onto that flush. Alright, now that we got that on, we're going to take our two 22 millimeter nuts. There's one at the bottom, and this one we're going to squeeze in there, and one at the top. And you want to make sure you put them on by hand first so you don't cross thread them. And this one is, of course, this one is the hardest one, and it's still the hardest one. So being that this one is difficult like that, what we're going to do is take our 22 millimeter socket for our extension. We're not going to use a ratchet or anything. We're just going to use this to guide that on. Perfect. And then we're going to move our master over. Alright. Let's go back down to this one. Bring that in. I want to make sure they set right into the master before we go and tighten them up. It looks like this one's going to be a little problem. Alright, let's get our ratchet. Oops. As you can see, I'm a little bit off on this one. The master has to actually go down. It's got to twist a little bit. Dang it. There we go. Since that's the hardest one, let's get that brought all the way in. Not to tighten it up yet. Then we're going to do the bottom one. Let's tighten those up. When you tighten those up, you go ahead till it stops, and then a little bit more. That's it. All right, let's get the top one done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing you're gonna need is a little piece of paper. Take that off, and something to keep the nut in there while we lower it down. Dang it.
That didn't work.
No, that didn't work. We'll get this is a thicker piece. We'll get the magnet and get that one out. I mean, it held in.
Why don't they make stuff magnetic?
They do have magnetic sockets, but you know, I'm cheap.
Oh, I see.
Let's get that down there and get that started. Okay. Let's get our other one. Put the other one up here. Get that one over here. And then we're going to get our magnet, get that one down, get that one out of there, and put it onto the other one. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our last one. Just bring that down here. All right. Let's put this one back on. All right, let's get our ratchet. And tighten these up, guys. That's all you want to do. And bring it down till it stops, and just turn just a little bit more. Stop a little bit more. All right, let's get the other two done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got that done. Everything is looking good. If you followed me up to this point, I give you credit. Yeah, buddy. All right, the next thing we do, let's take our brake holes over here. our booster hose. And we're gonna have to remember it went up under this, inside this bracket and all. So we're gonna push it up there, get it in between the bracket. Okay. Snapped up into there. Take the other end, push it inside the booster. Then take our level sensor. Let's connect that back. And that is done. All right, before we put everything back together, what we're going to do is start the car up and make sure everything is good. Make sure our adjustment is good. Then we can pull our boot back forward and everything. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's try this out. All right, what I'm going to do is back up a little bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Let's go forward. Perfect. But I don't have that play like I want. So what I'm going to do, matter of fact, let's go out here. And I'm going to show you because right now, it's grabbing, I step on the brake pedal and it's starting to grab about that much away. And that's 5 to 10 millimeter. That is right. But I think I want a little bit more play. So what I'm going to do here is take the adjusting nut and I'm going to turn it clockwise and bring it down onto that shaft more. Back this up and I'm going to turn this and bring it back more. And I can actually turn this by hand. It's very easy. All right, so I'm going to turn that back and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got it adjusted. Let's try this again. First. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. All right, let's get this stuff hooked up and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we do, we got our 17 millimeter right here and we're gonna hold that into place. And then we're gonna take our 19 millimeter wrench and we gotta slowly bring that up against that sleeve and lock them together. And once we do that, we're going to push that boot back over here. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got that done. This is perfect. The next thing we're going to do is push our boot back. And you can
do what? Push our boot back?
Push our boot. Push it back. I'm going to take my 2 fingers like this and pull it back as much as I can. See that? And now on the end of it, you see it's got little tabs. And I'm gonna start using those to push that back. And or what I can do is get some needle nose, long needle nose, and pull that over that grommet. Matter of fact,
can't you rip it like that?
If you're astral, then no. So let me show you. We'll be right back. All right, guys, what I got here is 2 things, needle nose and pliers. Because Sylvia made a good point about whether you can rip it or not. If I use my needle nose right here, I'm only grabbing just a little bit. And there's a good chance of me ripping it. So I'm going to use my needle nose for the side ones. Oh, that's all I need. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. All right, the next thing we're going to do is get our horn. And here's our horn harness that we pulled to the side already. And let's get our horn and bolt it up with our 10 millimeter bolt. Be right back. All right, guys, here we go. First thing we'll do, let's plug up our horn.
Beep, beep.
Make sure that thing snaps into place. There we go. Then we're going to lower this down. And then we got to take our hand over here and try to get this bolt to start. Whenever it wants to start. I think it's going to be more difficult to get through this bolt than it was actually to do the booster.
I doubt that.
You doubt that?
Yeah.
All right, we got that, and we're going to tighten that up. The next thing, well, let's turn this back to the side because this thing's supposed to be facing up. Okay, then we're gonna get our amplifier. And that's gotta go around there. Let's get that hooked in. Well, this thing is supposed to have, oh, just slips right into the slot. And bolt up just like that. With our two 10mm bolts. And then we're going to tighten those up. And then let me just get this started. And then last but not least, to get this one started, what I'm going to do is use my extension over here to try to get that one started. And then we're going to put our negative terminal back on and tighten that up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, you are done. I'm pretty sure you know everything else to put back. That's all we got to do now is just put the shield right here, cover right here, the cover right here, and put this. Oh yeah, and the weather stripping, and put the tire back in, and that's it. This job was great. I am so proud of you. Yeah, buddy, you get 2 of them. We'll be right back. All right, guys, before we finish up, I want to show you this. Look at this. This thing is still leaking inside. Oops, I ain't gonna put that on my table. But you can see the rust right there. The water was going into there. You know, this looks like, no, that can't be 3 of 85. Because of 99, that wouldn't be cool. All right, we'll be right back.
All right, so today we had a 99 Porsche Boxster.
I can't hear you. And the mic gotta hear you.
Then you should be quiet. And we showed you how to replace the power brake booster. And also we spoke to you about some of the reasons why it could go bad. So if you guys have any comments or questions, you can post it below in the comments section, or you can email Timmy at tim@astralautorepairs.com. Hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astral Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.